Joining us now in the studio is Don Brazel, the CEO of the Mississippi Wildlife Fisheries Parks Foundation. Don, thanks for coming on Midday.
Man, glad to be here. Appreciate you inviting us.
Big week down at the Trade Mart, the Coliseum. Tell us what we got going on with the Mississippi Ag and Outdoor Expo.
Okay, starting this Friday at noon, our expo. But you said all week. I feel like I've been doing it all week. But anyway, we open the doors on Friday at noon and go through 7 o'clock that night. Then Saturday it opens at 10 a.m. and will run through 7 p.m. that night. And then Sunday it will be 10 to 5.
Right.
So
okay. So
we got two big events though now. It's
the
Ag and Outdoor Expo, and then we've got the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels event too, starting at 7 o'clock that night on Saturday. So we have two events. It's all about country.
Okay, awesome. So I seem to recall last year in the Trade Mart there, lots of exhibitors with lots of neat stuff, all related to outdoors.
Absolutely. We have got, we're sold out. And with a waiting list to get in,
wow.
We have no more space available. We've put them in every crook and cranny we can put people in to show their product.
That's great.
Almost 70,000 square feet of, sure enough, any product related to hunting, fishing, those services for that, agricultural products, big toys for big boys and little toys for little boys. You name it, I think we've got it.
It was awesome last year, very enjoyable, and so the fact that you got a waiting list tells me that it must be good for the exhibitors.
Well, I think a lot of it is the product that we are providing for them, but also I think COVID, people have gotten over that grain, and they're not quite as worried as they were before. So I think both those, and also now I have to say we're very fortunate to have the Trade Mart.
Just going to ask you that.
That building is incredible, and thank goodness for Commissioner Gibson and his crew. I can't ask for any better help than his crew that they have there at the fairground.
Totally awesome. Completely agree, and it's just it's a great place to host that sort of event.
Absolutely,
no doubt about that.
Absolutely, beautiful building.
Yeah, it desperately needed. The old one had served well, but its time had passed, and we needed an upgrade, and now we have it. So, Don, it seems like this is a reasonable question to ask. Folks are familiar with the issues we've had with respect to crime in the city of Jackson.
Right.
But the fairgrounds itself, behind the gates and the fences and law enforcement around, I've seen no issue with that. I mean, you're not worried about that, are you?
I spend a lot of time there.
Okay.
No, I'm not. And, of course, Commissioner Gibson and Department of Agriculture, of course, they have put in new enforcement security measures there that are really looking good for it. I think I heard the other day how many events that they had there with no incidents at all.
Okay.
I mean, I feel comfortable there.
And I do too, and that's the way it should be, honestly. And again, I recall last year that the place was well represented by law enforcement that are making sure nothing happens. I just don't see any bad folks coming onto the property to even think about doing anything.
We have plenty of security. I'll just go ahead and say this, inside and out.
Yeah, and the commissioner's made it very clear that the bad guys are not going to ruin anything that should happen on those fairgrounds at that event.
He has taken it head on.
No doubt about it. And it needed to be.
Yeah,
so I think we're in good shape there. So tell me again, how many exhibitors you have?
Last count was, I think, 142.
Good grief.
Yeah.
142.
But listen, when you're in a building that's nearly 70,000 square feet, I think our largest vendor will be Van Sporting Goods. And he's got 35 booths.
Oh, my gosh.
35. That's large.
It's very large.
He has a big space.
They got a lot of stuff to show.
He does.
Yeah.
And he brings in professionals from all over with the different companies that he represents. And he's very excited. He increased from last year. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That means it was a good event for him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, so 130. That's just amazing. But we should point out, I just can say from my experience last year, it's not crowded. You're not shoulder to shoulder, even though there's a lot of people exhibiting and a lot of people walking through the Trade Mart to take a look at everything. It's very comfortable.
Very.
Incredibly comfortable, and it's very spacious. It can easily accommodate that. And
I will say, too, we put 99% of everything inside the air conditioning. So come enjoy yourself in August.
Some of the big gear's outside. I don't think you can get it in there.
Yeah, the big machines, we had to put them outside.
But those are fascinating to look at, though, to behold in person.
And the kids love to get up in the big wheels of them and take pictures. So, I mean, they're
gigantic.
We call it sort of touch a tractor, touch a truck, or touch a skid, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But that is definitely an attraction for all children, for sure.
How's the foundation doing? How are we
doing? We're doing really well, really well. A lot of growth over the last 3 years. We've tackled some major projects like the stewardship initiative that passed this last year, and it's like Ricky Matthews said the other day: when the foundation grabs onto something, just get out of the way.
Got it through.
We're going to do everything we can.
No
to get
doubt
it
about it. Yeah. I was talking to Robert Taylor about that.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of days ago up at the Communiversity, and everybody seems to be pleased with at this point where we are on that. I think it's a good deal for the state of Mississippi. And
the Taylors are a big sponsor of ours too.
Yes, yeah.
While I'm at it, let me go ahead and say Southern Ag Credit presenting sponsor, but I've got a list of sponsors if we have time for me to read them off, because I might forget one if I didn't read them. So
all good.
We're very fortunate. I mean, people are seeing the work we're doing, and they're coming on board.
Well,
so we love it.
We're blessed in Mississippi. Outdoor sports are a big asset in our state.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of outdoors people that really enjoy that, but they also are dedicated to taking care of the environment and ensuring we have good habitat, good spaces for our wildlife, because we're not doing any good if we destroy that, and they understand that, and they want to perpetuate that and keep that going for future generations. So they're outdoorsmen and women, but they're also very dedicated to preservation.
They are, and our primary mission is supporting the Department of Wildlife Fisheries and Parks and their programs.
Right.
But as you notice, we jumped out there a little bit more in the forefront and got involved in the Stewardship Coalition to get that initiative passed.
Right.
And so we're beginning to branch out a little bit, even though that program is still something that affects our whole state. The conservation in our state.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to share with the folks real quickly exactly what that stewardship is all about?
I can, real quick.
Yeah.
All but Mississippi and Louisiana actually had a continuous funding source for conservation. And a couple years ago, we began to tackle trying to get one in our state. And we're very fortunate to have some really good coalition members that participated with us. And we were able to, through the legislature this year, with a lot of those members of the legislature's support, get a bill passed that will provide funding, especially matching funding, for federal grants that we've been missing out on. I mean, we've been leaving millions and millions of dollars out of our state that could be on the ground in our state. So by passing that, we got $10 million to start the program. The board has been now established as of July 1. So we're in the process of getting to develop a program that'll take grants from different private and public organizations and government agencies. I mean, anybody practically can apply. So that board will establish the guidelines. Then you will have those grant processes gone through, and you'll select a certain ones, and hopefully we can match a lot of that money with that federal money and make it tenfold better than what it is today.
We're going to benefit for sure. Anything?
And we're not through.
No, that's what I was
going to ask you. We're going after more.
Okay, well, what's on the radar? We've got about a couple of minutes left. What's on the radar for the next session?
We did not receive as we wanted the Christmas list,
and
we got a really good start at it. This year, we would love to continue to gain and get more money put into that trust fund and go from there. But we really would like to see a definite continuous source of funding for conservation.
I got you. Well, It is a precious asset in the state of Mississippi, and we certainly need to do everything we can to maintain it, preserve it for future generations, and it's critical to our economy as well.
I agree.
Don Brazel, CEO of Mississippi Wildlife Fisheries Parks Foundation, on the program talking about the Mississippi Ag and Outdoor Expo. They get started at noon tomorrow.
Tomorrow. That's right.
Go down to the fairgrounds, Trade Mart to check it out, folks. We'll take a break here on Middays. We'll come right back.